Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the news postcard on TayNinhTV with some last events in our province as well as nationwide, and here are our stories today. On March 25th, the Central Public Security Party Committee organized a meeting and dialogue program between the Secretary of the Central Public Security Party Committee and the First Secretary of the Central Youth Union, with of course the union members and the young people of the People's Public Security, and commended and awarded the outstanding young police fighters in 2024. The program was organized online to the public security of units and localities. Attending the program, there were General Lương Tâm Quang, Police Bureau member, Secretary of the Central Public Security Party Committee, Minister of Public Security, Mr. Bùi Quang Huy, alternate member of the Party Security Committee, First Secretary of the Central Ho Chi Minh Communist Youth Union. Attending the program at the Tây Provincial Public Security Connecting Point, there were Colonel Trần Văn Luận, Deputy Director of Provincial Public Security, and Mr. Nguyễn Thanh Tùng, Provincial Party Committee Member, Provincial Youth Union Secretary. The meeting and dialogue program was organized to celebrate the 94th anniversary of the founding of the Ho Chi Minh Communist Youth Union, the 69th anniversary of the traditional day of the Youth Union of the Ministry of Public Security, and towards the 80th anniversary of the traditional day of the People's Public Security, the 20th anniversary of the National Day for National Security Protection. At the program, the Mr. Lương Tâm Quang and First Secretary of Central Youth Union Bùi Quang Huy co-chaired the dialogue with the Youth Union members of the People's Public Security. Many groups of issues in various fields were proposed by the Youth Union members of the People's Public Security. At the program, the Mr. Lương Tâm Quang and Mr. Bùi Quang Huy presented certificates and symbols to 20 outstanding young police fighters in 2024.
On the morning of March 25, the People's Committee of TayNinhTV held a regular meeting for March 2025. Mr. Nguyễn Hồng Thanh, acting chairman of the Provincial People's Committee and vice chairman of the Provincial People's Committee, Mr. Trần Văn Chiến, and Mr. Dương Văn Thắng co-chaired the meeting. According to the assessment at the meeting, the implementation of the socio-economic development plan, estimated state budget revenue and expenditure, and public investment in the first quarter of 2025 achieved many positive results. These positive results will create a premise for the second quarter of 2025. However, in addition to the achieved results, there are still some limitations, of which 9 out of 16 domestic revenue items are below 25% compared to the estimate. There are 3 out of 9 districts and cities with budget revenue reaching below 25% of the estimate. Disbursement of public investment capital only reached 8.8% of the plan assigned by the Prime Minister and the Provincial People's Council. Speaking at the meeting, Mr. Nguyễn Hồng Thanh requested that in the second quarter, localities, departments, and branches need to focus on leading and directing the implementation of key tasks to ensure the progress, quality, and effectiveness of programs and projects in TayNinhTV. One of the important requirements is to clear the land for projects such as Ho Chi Minh City Mobile Expressway, Trường Chinh Street. At the same time, it is necessary to focus on removing obstacles, speeding up the progress of public and private investment, especially supporting investors and handling them at Hưng Thuận Port.
And on the afternoon of March 25th, the Economic Budgets Committee of Provincial People's Council met to review the content submitted by the Provincial People's Committee to the upcoming 19th section of the Provincial People's Council. Attending the event, there was Ms. Nguyễn Đại Thi, Permanent Vice Chairwoman of Provincial People's Council, and Mr. Nguyễn Hồng Sơn, Vice Chairman of Provincial People's Council. The Economic Budgets Committee reviewed and gave comments on a draft resolution to the list of works and projects to recover land for the social economic development for national and public interest in the province in 2025, phase number 2. The list of land areas for bidding for investment projects using land in the province in 2025, phase number 1, and regulations on expenditure contents and expenditure levels for the local industrial promotion activities in TayNinhTV province. the regulations on supporting lower interest rates and the credit institutions for bus investment projects, supporting costs for public passenger transport by bus, adjusting and supplementing the medium-term public investment plan from the local budgets for the period of 2021 to 2025, the public investment plan for 2025 also. The drafts will continue to be supplemented and completed before being submitted to the 19th section of Provincial People's Council, which will take place on March 28th. And on the afternoon of March 25th, in Mỏ Công Commune, the District Party Committee, the People's Council, and the People's Committee and Vietnam Philanthropic Front Committee of Tân Biên District held a meeting to celebrate the 50th anniversary of district liberation, March 23rd of 1975, March 23rd of 2025.
Attending the meeting, there was Mr. Võ Đức Trâm, member of the Standing Committee of the Provincial Party Committee, chairman of the Vietnam Philanthropic Committee of the province. In the final stage of the resistance war against the U.S. to save the country, under the leadership of the party, the army and people of the district defeated the enemy in many localities, expanding the liberated areas. In early 1975, only the area of Mỏ Công Camille, Ông Trịnh Xuyến, was a strategic hamlet under the control of the Saigon government. With the determination to wipe out the enemy on March 23, 1975, Company 51 of Tân Biên District Military Command, a newly established local guerrilla battalion from the commuting the liberated area of the district, coordinated with Battalion 2 Group 180 of the Armed Security Region to attack and liberate Mỏ Công. Speaking at the meeting, Mr. Trần Lê Duy, Secretary of Tân Biên District Party Committee, emphasized that after 15 years of liberation, the district's socio-economic situation has gradually developed, promoting the heroic revolutionary tradition. The Party Committee, government and people of Tân Biên District continue to unite, be creative and courageous, overcome difficulties and challenges, steadfastly pursue the party's goals and ideas, and for the happiness of the people, determined to build Tân Biên homeland to develop comprehensively and sustainably.
And ladies and gentlemen, promoting the pioneering and volunteering role, arousing the youth strength to participate in undertaking the youth project centers, TayNinhTV youth have been implementing many practical activities to contribute to perfecting the criteria in building new rural area and building an increasingly rich and civilized homeland. TayNinhTV youth continue to affirm their pioneering role in building new countryside with practical project centers and contributing to changing the local appearance. In the Green Summer of 2024 and Volunteer Spring of 2025 campaigns, Tân Biên District was chosen as a pilot district of the province with many meaningful activities. Outstanding projects implemented include building a charity house, lighting up nearly 1 kilometer of border patrol roads, and many rural roads also. In addition, Tân Châu District is the place where the Youth Month 2025 was launched. Local youth mobilized social resources to build a national flag route in Tân Châu Town, a red sky house in Tân Hiệp Commune, and built an outdoor sports area in Tân Hội Commune also. In addition, youth union members across the province actively implemented the bright, green, clean, beautiful, and civilized safe roads, planted trees, and built youth flower roads, launched digital education for the people, short team, and promoted environmental protection activities. These are the projects that demonstrate the joint efforts of the whole community, in which the core for is the youth union members. The youth union chapters at all levels in the province will focus on implementing the tasks related to environmental protection, especially practical projects that are closely related to the social life and the people's life, while also spreading the message to the community. As part of the Youth Month of 2025 activities, the Provincial Youth Union organized the launch of the Peak Volunteer Day to join hands in building new rural areas and Green Sunday in Suda Commune. On this occasion, the Provincial Youth Union presented a pinhouse motto, raised funds for the book about the border program, and supported the children in border areas. At the same time, many gifts were given to the children in difficult circumstances, demonstrating the spirit of mutual love. In particular, the organization of the water market encourages the people and students to participate in environmental protection. After drinking a soft drink, I leave it here so I can sell it to get the money, or I save it to go to the motor market to just change for candy. Instead of throwing it into the environment, which is harmful to the environment, I bring it to the motor market to exchange for candy. Our young generation always clearly identifies the construction of new-style rural areas, and the Sudai Commune Youth Union has carried out specific actions and works propagating to the people about the plastic waste classification, and through this program, it will raise people awareness and contribute to the construction of new rural areas. The youth project centers contribute to changing the face of the countryside, raising community awareness about the environmental protection and sustainable development. Towards the 94th anniversary of the founding of the Ho Chi Minh Communist Youth Union, the spirit of youth shock continues to be promoted, affirming the pioneering role of the union members and young people in building an increasingly rich and civilized homeland. In order to effectively implement the One Commune, One Product program in 2025, the province will invest about 3.1 billion Vietnam dong for this program, and from the career capital supported by the central government to implement the national target program on new-style rural development in 2025. According to the plan, this year the province tried to have about 20 to 25 more products recognized as OCB products of 3-star level or higher, bringing the total number of products evaluated and classified as 3-star level or higher in the province to 150 products, and at the same time continue to maintain, consolidate, and upgrade products that have been recognized as OCB products, striving to have at least 50% of OCB entities participating in the modern sales channels. And from the funding source to support the implementation of the program, the province will focus on the following contents: product evaluation and classification, promote trade promotion, supply-demand connection for OCB products, promote the application of information technology and digital transformation in building profiles and managing OCB product data.
The People's Committee of TayNinhTV has just issued an official dispatch requesting the provincial department's franchise units, People's Committee sub-district towns, city, enterprises, organizations, and individuals to effectively implement the project of planting 1 billion trees in the period of 2021-2025. Accordingly, continue to promote the implementation of the project, planting 1 billion trees in the period of 2021-2025. Effectively implement the movement, dead tree planting to forever remember alcohol, strengthen the work of forest management, protection, and development in 2025. The Management Board of Logo Sarmat National Park, Badem Mountain National Tourist Area, Yêu Tiếng Protective Forest, People's Committees of Tân Châu, Tân Biên, Châu Thành districts, and related units continue to review and arrange suitable land funds for new planting and reforestation to implement the program in the right season.
And in the last day of March at Biên Hòa Airport of Dong Nai Province, the training atmosphere of the Vietnam People's Air Force in preparation for the 50th anniversary of the liberation of the South and national reunification, April 30th of 1975, April 30th of 2025, took place urgently and seriously with the highest determination. This is not only an important political task, but also an opportunity to demonstrate the combat capacity, affirming the strength of the Air Defense Air Force, ready to protect the fatherland. This is not only an important political task, but also an opportunity to demonstrate combat capability, affirming the strength of the Air Defense and Air Force ready to protect the fatherland. At this time, units in the Air Defense Air Force are entering the peak training period on the areas of the day. From 3 a.m., ground support units such as technical staff, flight commanders, and radar surveillance forces must take every effort to carry out their tasks. Before its flight on the system must be thoroughly checked to ensure that the aircraft are always ready to take off. We must study and master all the knowledge about our aircraft models. For our recommend, the YA-130 is the model, so we must constantly learn to meet the requirements of the mission. This is the most modern aircraft model of the Air Defense Air Force, and as a technical officer, we must perform its content accurately and meticulously because it is always the beginning of the safe flights and ensure the completion of the mission. And to have a unique performance, the pilots must practice many times, master each control operation, ensure the safety, and demonstrate the strength of the Vietnam Air Force in the sky. The most difficult thing when flying in formation is that the aircraft in the formation must perform the contents in unison. When performing the contents through the low altitude, the pilots must closely observe the team leader and closely coordinate the contents of the aircraft in the formation to have uniform actions. The main task of the Air Force will be fly to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the liberation of the South and the reunification of the country with the helicopters, EA-130 aircraft and SU-30 aircraft in the large numbers. In addition, there will be many complex flights to perform in the sense to affirm the position and strength of the Army, as well as to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the liberation of the South and the reunification of the country. And with determination to successfully complete the mission, the soldiers and pilots of the Air Defense and Air Force Service determined that the 50th anniversary of the liberation of the South and the national reunification is not only an occasion to reveal the heroic history of the nation, but also an opportunity for the Army to affirm its motto, strength and wealth to protect the fatherland sky. And the Ministry of Finance is seeking comments on the draft resolution of the National Assembly on reducing value-added tax to stimulate consumption in line with the current economic context and thereby supporting the people and businesses, promoting production and business activities, tourism, and domestic consumption development. According to the draft, the value-added tax rate will be reduced by 2% applied to groups of goods, services currently subject to a tax rate of 10% to 8%, except for the following groups of goods and services: telecommunications, financial activities, banking, securities, insurance, real estate business, metal products, mining products, except for coal and goods and services subject to special consumption tax, except for gasoline. The period of application of the 2% of VAT reduction prescribed above is from July 1st, 2025 to December 31st of 2026. And if applied, the expected reduction in state budget revenue in the last 6 months of 2025 and the whole year of 2026 is equivalent to about 121 trillion Vietnam dong.
The Department of Private Enterprise Development and Collective Economy, Ministry of Finance, in coordination with the British Embassy and the British Consulate General, has just launched the ESG Environment, Society and Governance Framework Implementation Handbook and ESG Reporting for Enterprises in March 24 in Hanoi. The handbook provides guidance and reference materials for enterprises in Vietnam on integrating ESG into governance, strategy and operations to respond to risks related to sustainable development, improving the capacity to disclose information on sustainable development. In addition, the handbook also helps enterprises improve their capacity to disclose information on sustainable development to ensure compliance with legal requirements and leading domestic and international ESG practices, while taking advantage of the opportunities that ESG brings, especially access to green financial resources.
Chitao's Baxi Habitat Conservation Area in Mù Cang Chải district of Yên Bái province covers nearly 20,000 hectares, and this conservation area is high mountains and rich vegetation creates favorable conditions for the locality to develop experiential tourism associated with the forest protection. This conservation area, with its high mountains and rich vegetation, creates favorable conditions for the locality to develop experiential tourism associated with the forest protection. And to protect the conservation area, heritage streets, the people of Chế Tào commune have established patrol teams taking turns going to the forest every month. The quiet footsteps in the middle of the forest not only protect the forest, but also preserve the soul of the homeland. Because there was no funding before, the people could contribute a small amount of money to the patrol team, and in previous years, there was no budget for patrolling, so patrolling was not guaranteed, leading to the cutting down of heritage trees, including ironwood and palm trees also. The People's Committee of the Commune has also advised the party committee to develop a plan for the area for ironwood trades. The Commune has also established a community group to patrol here every month. It is considered one of the most beautiful primeval forests with a rich flora of 788 species of higher plants. Notably, there are more than 3,000 naturally growing permute trees that are 100 or 700 years old, and many precious species of trees also, creating a magnificent natural landscape. The reserve is also home to 221 species of terrestrial vertebrates, including 53 mammals, 130 birds and 26 reptiles, and about 12 amphibians. The population of Northwest Ironwood and Pomo has just been recognized as Vietnam Heritage Tree, and it is a motivation for the people to continue protecting and preserving the forest. It can be seen that the biodiversity of the reserve has attracted many survey teams and opened up the potential for developing experimental tourism, bringing visitors to explore the wild beauty of the Cheta Mountains and forests.
And that's all for today, TV News. Thank you for being with us, and goodbye for now.